It took 11 years of me coming on this show, Mr. Hewitt, for us to finally get a tennis reference on the sports stage. I like it. Billie Jean King.
Billie Jean King. Pressure is a privilege. I was way off.
That is, the greatest things. I think you'll agree, Arash and Barney. The greatest things are simple. Things. And that's one of them, like the Apple logo, a bite out of an apple. That's brilliant. But that comment by Billie Jean King, so simple and yet so profoundly true.
Hitting a fairway.
Now, why didn't somebody say this to the Blue Jays before Game 7? Said the Billie Jean King.
I thought, for some reason, I was thinking it was a college coach. But yeah, it's Billie Jean King. And then obviously another favorite is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Famous quote from Michael Scott from The Office.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And Michael Jordan, he said that too, or something like that.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky.
Michael Jordan also said, "Pass the Hennessy in a cigar," but that's a different day.
Game 7. Let's start it. We got to talk Blue Jays. When we have you on, we have to talk about it. We were all watching. A lot of us were on the wagon, off the wagon. I think Game 6 and that ball being stuck in the wall, I was like, okay, what is this, a foreshadow? What kind of weirdness is going on? But then Game 7 comes, Arash, and how do you unwrap it? What a game.
What a game. I mean, there's so many layers and so many moments of Game 7. I mean, in the 9th inning, the Blue Jays had a 91.7% probability of winning the game. 91.7. The guy who hits the home run off Jeff Hoffman in the 9th inning had not hit, Miggy Rojas had not hit a home run since early September. Miggy Rojas had not had a base hit in a month when Dave Roberts decided in Game 6 to start him. And Roberts' point was, this is a vet. This is a glue guy. If we're going down with him. And it was Rojas, guys. Remember at the end of Game 6, when Kike Hernandez made the catch, Rojas had the presence of mind to bolt over to second base.
That's right.
Double off Barger. And in the process, this is so many people got caught up in just Blue Jays. In the immediate aftermath of that play, guys, Miggy Rojas dislocated a rib. The Dodgers weren't sure if Miggy Rojas was going to play Game 7, and what does he do? Not only does he get shot up to play, he hits the home run off that ridiculous hanger of a pitch from Hoffman, and then guns down Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at home plate in the 9th inning to preserve a game. This is a guy with a dislocated rib, playing shallow, had to twist again, and guns down IKF.
Isn't that something? The manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Dave Roberts, the one take I had coming out of the World Series was, man, is this guy something special as a manager? He just seems to have his finger on the pulse of that team like I've almost never seen before, Arash.
So, Don, I'll tell you this. I was lucky enough to get to Game 7. So
good, you deserve to be there.
I appreciate it. I was behind the left field foul pole. So I am staring straight ahead at the visitors' dugout down the first baseline. So if you remember in the 9th inning, right before that Rojas play, Alejandro Kirk got hit by a pitch to load the bases.
Yeah.
Then they go to replay review. Did it hit the knob of the bat? Did it hit his hand, etc.? So while everybody in the stadium's watching the replay review, I'm like, what is happening here? Because Dave Roberts has come out of the dugout and he's having a long chat with the home plate umpire. And it's continuing and it's continuing and it's continuing during the replay review. Finally, the umpire pulls out his lineup card and Roberts literally points down at the lineup card to the umpire. The umpire takes a note. Roberts turns around, signals to the dugout. The bench coach runs across the dugout to a dude at the end of the dugout in a hoodie. And that's when Pages jumps up, takes the hoodie off, runs out to center field. Tommy Edman comes out on a defensive substitution. And after Rojas guns down IKF, it's Pages in center field making one of the most iconic catches in World Series history. Covered 121 feet.
Jeez.
Knocks over Kike Hernandez and makes the catch. Kike stood on the, lay down on the warning track after, because he said, I thought we lost the game. I thought the game was over.
Is that right? Wow.
And
another brilliant move by Dave Roberts.
Right.
He just was calling everything right.
Well, and speaking of the pressure, yeah, they have spend more money than anybody in baseball.
Except the Mets.
But
I think.
But there's the pressure that comes with that too. You can't be the Mets. You can't be a dud. If they're spending that much money, you're expected to perform. Jeff Hoffman, I remember Arash a few months ago and the struggles he was going in, and you would talk and I would sit there and nod because I just didn't know enough. And after watching it and then giving up that home run, it somewhat fitting in a sick way.
The issue in that situation, you have a full count pitch. Colson, why don't we the home run again from Rojas if we want to roll that? It's a full count pitch.
Painful to watch again.
In that scenario, if you're a closer, if you're a ninth inning guy, you're brought in there on a 2-strike pitch, your best against his best. What is this slider nonsense? What is this hangy thing over the heart of the plate for your 9-hole hitter? You come at him with a fastball. You come at him with your best pitch. Jeff Hoffman didn't. It felt like this was a ticking time bomb the entire way of the season. Awful pitch. But you know what else, Barney? Barney and Don? It was a pitcher who was scared. And he blew it. And the Jays choked.
Well, a lot of people I know in street clothes might have hit that ball out of the yard. But you know what's really interesting?
I want to see the guy in jeans smoke that over the wall.
I think they just announced
What about a guy with a hot pink hoodie? Would he hit it over the wall or what?
You may be.
That's right. Big pink guy.
Fox Sports announced, I think it was this morning or last night, that they had the best ratings of a World Series since 2017. They were ecstatic because the television ratings for the World Series in the U.S. have been slowly in decline. They had a comeback with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, and in many respects, the Blue Jays really helped Major League Baseball in the U.S., as it turned out, because more people were climbing aboard this series as it went on.
Yeah, and I also think, Don, it was a couple of things, too. One is Ohtani. The Ohtani effect is real. When you're hearing about a guy getting on base 9 times, when you're hearing about a guy who's they just have to walk him.
Yeah.
And I do think Vladimir Guerrero is now a star. He is a star, is a name that's going to be recognizable, second generation, all those kinds of things. And, Mookie Betts was in Boston, L.A. Freddie Freeman was in Atlanta, now in LA. They've had some well-traveled guys. The irony of it all is that all that money they spent that Barney talked about, and all these well-traveled guys that they gave all the money to, the Dodgers batted .203 in the World Series. They were outscored by 8 runs, 6 runs, something like that in the World Series, and won it.
Clutch when it counted. Now, the Blue Jays for next year, can we say goodbye to the World Series? Not maybe necessarily if they don't get Bo Bichette back. Is he willing to go to second base? Do you think he could end up in Toronto? He says he wants to, but there's a lot of teams that want him. And what's your take on Bo Bichette?
Well, what else is he going to say? I don't want to come back. Right after losing Game 7 of the World Series, in front of all his teammates. Vlad had a great line. He said, "Now it's time for Bo to go out and get paid." And Bo Bichette has earned the right to get to free agency. He has earned the right to get to the open market to discover what's out there. Something tells me the Los Angeles Dodgers would love to have Bo Bichette. The New York Mets would love to have Bo Bichette. The Boston Red Sox would love to have Bo Bichette. On and on we can go. This is now not a front office decision anymore. This is not about the team president. This is not about the general manager. This is about what is ownership willing to do to get there, and is Bo interested in coming back at that number? And that's what this now comes down to.
Yeah,
nothing else.
When they showed the picture of Guerrero and Bichette as they came up in the system together, and how young they were in that one picture, like it's again, as a guy who has not been following it that close, it's like that is such a cool story. Do you want to take people through? Do you want to take people through the text message? How do you?
I'd love to.
How do you paint this picture? Yeah,
I'd love
let's
to.
do it. Get the egg on the face thing ready.
All right. So Barney and I are texting Game 7. Bichette's first at bat, he gets on. He's rounding second base, Don. And you can tell he's laboring, right? The leg's bad, the knee's bad. And Barney texts me.
He should be on third, and then he should have scored. Anyway.
Barney texts me and he says, "This Bichette is a liability." Next AB, Don, kaplow. 442 feet for a 3-run shot to the moon. And I wrote back to Barney, liability.
I wish people could see this graphic that are only listening on radio.
Yeah, no, the boys put it up. The boys put it up all the time when I'm wrong. But I was like, he can't run. Like come on, we could have scored there. You could be in third. And then, the next, and I couldn't even get to my phone because I think I was in the middle of cooking or going to the barbecue or something. And I just saw it and I'm like, well, when I get back to my phone, I know who's going to be texting me.
On cue.
Yeah.
Ding.
Marty might have literally had egg on his face. He was cooking at the time.
The Ernie Clement, like, what a story that guy is. And he's in that spot and you know, everything. And he's a hockey guy. They say, like, what a spot for him to be in.
Rochester, New York is where he's from. He's under team control until 2029. So
thank goodness.
Yeah. Now, and I want to, here's the thing that's important to remember. It felt like all the stars were kind of aligning.
Yeah.
Like everybody had a career year. Clement emerges. Nathan Lucas, who nearly retired. Addison Barger, kind of out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
George Springer, who had a couple of terrible years, has this renaissance, et cetera, et cetera. Their starting pitching remained relatively healthy. They got to now start, guys, all over again. February 15th, pitchers and catchers report for 7 weeks of spring, and then 162 games. I know your boy Trey is Savage. You already have your Savage jersey on the way, Barney. But and he was great, and he was amazing, and a wonderful story, and he could end up becoming a great big leaguer. But it's one thing to do it in a 6-week, 7-week span. It's another thing to have to do it for 7 months, every 5 days, injuries, adversity, teams figuring you out, et cetera, et cetera. Win when you can, because you never know, and it's a long road back.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got Scherzer says he wants to be back. Bassett, I guess, could go anywhere. You got Bieber. I think he opted out. Did he not?
Well, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent. So, I mean, there's 3 guys right there. are any of them possibly going to be back in Toronto? Because, I mean, Bieber was great pitching on the road in the playoffs, but not so much at home.
Yeah, and I mean, Shane Bieber's coming off Tommy John. He hadn't pitched in a year, et cetera, et cetera. I think Shane Bieber's gone. I think Shane Bieber's going to get a lot of money somewhere. But it's interesting, like you mentioned, Don Bassett's up. Gosman's up at the end of next year.
Right.
Jose Barrios, I get the sense he's pitched his last game as a Blue Jay. He was nowhere to be seen during all of it. So, it's one of those, we'll see. Like, the dust had they hadn't even cleaned the confetti up, and the free agency list came out from the Major League Baseball Players Association. Mm-hmm. It's the business side of the game now.
You talk about just the absolute grind, and then you got to do it all over again in February. It's very similar to Connor McDavid the last 2 years and getting there, especially 2 years ago on that grind back.
Good point.
And then it's like, well, got to start skating again in a few weeks. Like a professional athlete would be unbelievable. It would be fantastic. But the mental grind and what these guys are going to have to go through and bounce back, and for sure, money makes it easier being able to bounce back when you're driving around in a Ferrari. But man, and like you said, like it is like February comes like that. Last thing on the Jays, it was crazy. I was part of it, so I can speak to it. This momentum and everybody, and I wouldn't say. I'm not going to the united a nation, and no, it didn't. No, we're never. I don't think we're ever going to be united again as one. Maybe the Olympics will kind of bring us close together again. But people in the East and the West and whatever. But the momentum that the Blue Jays brand had, and everything was pretty impressive over the last month when you figure it out, and then it's just boom, done.
Like it never happened almost. It's crazy how it goes.
That's true.
And that's the thing about sports. It grows. It's like this freight train that going, and like more people are hopping on whatever, and then the most abrupt end. Like broken bat, ground ball from Kirk. Mookie Betts fields it, touches second base, fires it over to first. I left that stadium. I was intrigued, guys. What's it going to be like out there on Front Street? What's the vibe outside the stadium? People were depressed. It was quiet. There were tears. It was literally the people kicking the rock down the street. Sunday was very quiet in the city. Yeah. Monday, it was water cooler conversation. And that's here. Forget everywhere else. By tomorrow, it's on to standard operating procedure.
Okay, let's shelf that. Let's get into some CFL. Now, I want to say, when everybody was buying stock in Calgary being this unbelievable wrecking ball coming out of the West, and they beat the Riders twice. Granted, kudos to them. But it's like getting a birdie on the second and third hole. It's how you finish. How are you finishing on 16, 17, and 18 with water down either side or trees? You never bought the stock into Calgary. And the Bombers, Bombers are done, and most people thought the Bombers would be done.
Yeah, look, neither team was ever ready for prime time. Both teams had glaring issues throughout the season. Stamps came out hot. Like the Stamps defense kept them in a lot of games, won them a lot of games, running basically a base defense. Their roster was never good enough. Winnipeg is the epitome of coaching malpractice. You have the best player in the Canadian Football League in your backfield, and in a playoff game in the wind on the road, you hand the ball off to Brady Oliveira 8 times?
That's a great point.
It was something that went on throughout the season. Caleros came out in his exit interview and said it just didn't feel right from training camp onwards. Mm-hmm. This was coaching and organizational malpractice by the Bombers. They held on to guys too long. Their coaching was poor. Their offensive play calling was just god-awful. And they were so stubborn about it all. And here's a franchise that had gotten to how many Grey Cups? Well, every single one of those Grey Cups that they lost, they led at the half. And they pissed it away, and now they pissed away this season as well. They're going the wrong way, Barney, Don. They got to the Grey Cup last year. This year they had to be a crossover team in the East. Yep. And they get there with a chance, and they just ignored Brady Oliveira. It's ridiculous.
Okay, we got about 2 minutes left here. I want to get, do you have a hot take? Do you have anything for us to think about? What are you thinking about the West Final, BC and Saski here Saturday?
And we can talk about the Hardy Cup on Thursday because I talked to both head coaches this week. I was talking to the Montreal Carabin head coach, University football here. They play Laval. And I said, you're playing them for a third time this year. How much have you guys been repping and practicing that you haven't shown on tape, that you have in your back pocket? And he said, probably 15% of our playbook. I'm intrigued. How much has Mace, how much has Buck Pierce not put on tape, especially BC offensively with an offensive-minded coach and Nathan Rourke? And how much has Mace, when it comes to pressure situations, pressure packs, blitzes, etc., what are they going to try and throw at Rourke that he hasn't seen? And what's Rourke and Buck Pierce going to try and do to the Riders that they haven't seen yet this year? I think that, to me, is a big part of this game.
The beauty of football.
That's the advantage of having that extra week of getting first place.
Yeah,
sure.
For the Rider coaching staff, because they've been working now for 2 weeks for this game.
That is the beauty part of football.
Totally.
It is not. It's one game, and what cards haven't you shown?
Yep.
And what have you shown that you got a wrinkle off? Now, we're there like, we've seen also, this. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. When do you pull out that wild card? When is it in that you've boom, right. now's the time. Now's the spot.
And that can win or lose the Western Final.
Okay.
That one decision.
Can you just run through NFL trades? New York Jets moving to the CFL pretty much. They packed up shop.
They have 7 picks over the next 2 years in the first and second round. Quinnen Williams is out. Sauce Gardner's out. How about this? The Indianapolis Colts are going all in with Daniel Jones. Okay. I guess. Sure.
Danny Dimes.
Hey, Indy, New England. AFC Championship game. You and I might have to go.
Drake May versus Daniel Jones. It's not quite Peyton and Brady, but let's do it.
No. If you squint, it might look like it. Okay, we get to catch up.
How many soda pops you have, then they'll really look like it.
Yeah, we get to catch up Thursday, bud. And we will get into that Hardy Cup for sure.
All right, see you guys. Bye.